Hello and welcome to the Loyal Sun Show. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, safe and sunshiny. Love, hate, Section 5. Place for you.
We're 1-3.
Yeah, we are.
David, you were at a wedding last night. Have you had the displeasure of rewatching the game? Or
No.
watching the game at all?
Yeah, you can't make me watch the condenser. You can't make me. I watched some. I wasted a lot of what was a very, very fun wedding I was at in the corner watching Pitt get walked like a dog on a leash. So being a football fan is a disease.
Was there a play that made you set the phone down and be like, all right, I'm going out to the dance floor?
That punt return for a touchdown should have been it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in hindsight, that was a very clear, like, all right, buddy, go dance with your buddies. Like, go hang out with your friends. Go celebrate this couple that you've been really good friends with forever. But we came back.
Kind of.
No, sorry, I shouldn't have said we. I came back to my phone, the spare work phone that I brought just to watch the game on. But to answer your question, I think it was Veilleux's second pick was like the real, like, okay, I'm actually not even gonna check again.
You made it that long?
I don't even know.
Off.
Did Woody make it that long, Squid?
I don't think so. I just saw his second interception like 2 minutes before we started recording.
I think we were out of the stadium.
Horrible.
So am I a more loyal son than you guys?
I mean,
I'm not going to hear that. I stood out in the rain for 5 hours tailgating this game.
Yeah, and you sound like hell.
Tipping point.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this. If you're watching the video version, I'm doing this from my couch. Didn't have the courage to make my way up to the office.
I thought it'd be a really funny bit if, like, Squid and I just had a conversation while you were asleep on the couch on camera, and also Squid and I were just normally going about our Sundays, just like I'm still assembling the same dresser I think I referred to 2 episodes ago, to tell you how it's going. I thought it would just be funny if Squid was like making dinner and I had like a Phillips head screwdriver out and we were just passively talking about, like, yep, Pitt sucks, never going to be happy again, go Steelers. I don't know.
We suck, but are you actually that upset? Like, I don't think any of us thought anything different would happen yesterday. That's how I'm coming to peace with it. It's like, yeah, we lost to UNC and we looked like a little bit more decent in the first half than I thought we would. But outside of that, I think that's exactly how I thought it would go. And I'm like, yep, better luck next week. Maybe we'll... Veilleux looking very ugly. I won't go too far. He looked very ugly is what was demoralizing the most to me. Everything else, yeah, I knew Drake Maye would make us look pretty stupid. They'd get some big plays. They'd put up 40 points. I wasn't all that up. I was upset, but say, oh, it's happening.
Those first 2 drives were good. It kind of pissed me off that we haven't seen anything like that the last 2 weeks. I was watching Cignetti scheme up some like play action, like motion, like plays I'm watching other teams run, like a little play action to the right, screen pass to the left. Yeah, easy stuff that works. And I was like, this looks like a completely different offense. It also just pissed me off that we didn't run anything like that in West Virginia. Yeah, the West Virginia thing is like, it's like, I can't believe how they trotted Dracovic out there and ran the Yarnell against Western Michigan offense for him.
It was very perplexing. It was frustrating because if we played to that level against Cincinnati or West Virginia. Who knows what happens? But the offense showed signs of life in the first half. I wasn't fully out on us coming back from down like 10. Once we're down a little bit more than 10, I'm like, okay, we can't keep up. But whenever we're down 10, I'm like, hey, the defense, we need one big play, and then the offense to keep doing your thing, marching a little bit. I
When I watched,
obviously knew there's a ceiling to our offense. We're not gonna score like a lot.
when I watched Drake May like throw a sidearm ball, like weave through 2 defenders, I was like, okay, this ain't gonna happen. We cannot stop them.
What was it? The sidearm ball through 3 defenders, or was it the? And I think you guys know exactly where I'm going with this one. Getting brought down by 2 defensive linemen, switching the ball into his offhand and throwing it end over end for a touchdown to a wide open guy, just like a freak play.
With a guy
Freak
blocking,
improv.
the guy blocking 8 yards downfield. That one.
True, but I don't think that takes away from like
Oh, phenomenal play by him.
he's everything that they told themselves Sam Howell was,
Yeah,
except
I'm
like
gonna-
taller and not fat.
yeah, I'm breaking our age-old rule of like we don't compliment players who play against Pitt, or that we accept that anyone who isn't on Pitt is good. He's good. He's the real deal.
Confirmed good.
I thought the defense played well in the first half. They stood tall. They forced a few punts. They got home to the quarterback, and I think the punt return really broke this team's back, and things kind of went off the rails in the second half. But I was very encouraged by the defense actually facing like a tough offense for a change and looking like half decent. But yeah, Drake May, I said it earlier, I expected him to score a lot of points on us, and they did. So tip our caps.
Yeah, this is one I wouldn't feel that bad about losing if it wasn't for 3 things. 3 things. 1, we started to look competent at the start of the game and then just sort of fell apart. So to dissect that, point 1 a little bit. Cignetti had some of those plays in his back pocket. They exist in the playbook. They exist in the scheme. And he decided to do, and Dylan, I loved what you said. I hadn't put that together yet. He did the Western Michigan Yarnell game plan against West Virginia. So we just didn't come prepared for that game, I guess. And then the other implication of that is, like I mentioned on our last episode, it feels like Cignetti comes in with like some really good ideas, like a logical game plan. We're going to jam it down their throats. We're going to run this scheme, or, big vertical passing attack. No one's going to expect it, like North Carolina last year. And then he fails to adjust the second the other team is like, oh, they're passing deep. Let's drop another safety. No answer. He has no plan B.
Yes,
ever.
I think that's spot on what I was going to say next. Most games, I guess outside of Cincinnati, we kind of got stonewalled early. Very often, does Pitt get out to a good start? We're like, oh yeah, this looks good. And I think the defense just meets in the sideline, and they're like, okay, so they're going to run the ball every play and blitz like 8 guys. And like West Virginia figured us out extremely easily. We had no success after that first drive.
No
Same
plan
with
B.
UNC. It's like, all right, you scored a couple times. We know what you're doing. You are so limited. If we just make this one little change, your entire offense is screwed. Cignetti also just emptied his bag in the first quarter and was like, well, that's all I got, Pat.
Just completely lost. Had no plan B. Number 2, we begged all goddamn week for Christian Veillere, and he looked bad.
Yeah. It's almost like the backup quarterback wasn't playing for a reason.
I mean, I'll contend.
That's what we feared.
I'll contend he didn't look very prepared. Here's a question. Why did he play in the second half? Because I didn't think Phil was like they said he wasn't in
Dracovic got
concussion.
domed.
He did get domed, but they said he wasn't in concussion protocol after the game, right?
Yeah. But Nerdy's was like weird about it. He didn't straight up say, like, yeah, he's not in concussion protocol. He was like, well, let's just say he's not in the protocol. Like very cryptic about it. So it's like, was he held out because I don't know.
So do we want to assume he had a concussion? I mean, I saw what happened. He domed is probably the right word for it. Or was this just an excuse to see what Veyer had?
I think it's a little bit of both. It's like, well, he could go in if we wanted to keep him in, but if we have a not full strength Phil, well, fuck it, let's just switch it up now.
This is our chance to put Veyer in the game and see what he can do, and have the excuse that, well, we didn't bench Phil. He was out with an injury. That could be part of it.
That was also complete horseshit. Cignetti dials up a screen pass. It's completed. The offense takes 40 seconds to get up to the line again to run the same exact play to the opposite side of the field. And then I was too busy being upset about wasting all of that time to really realize what play that was. But Pitt did not intend on scoring that drive. Like, we're going to just run the ball and go to the half. But they chose to run the ball with their quarterback, who ended up getting hurt. And then because of that penalty, we were kind of almost able to get into field goal range. But it would have been nice if we had like 40 more seconds and called a timeout or got a play in quick. It was just complete incompetence entering the half. And that ruined all of the goodwill that the team kind of barely built up by playing okay early on.
Veyer looked bad, and it was very, very disconcerting. But also, like, what the hell are we doing, coaches? First of all, he looked wildly unprepared to come into this game. You're putting him in a terrible position, down 2 scores to a ranked team with an unbelievable quarterback and a defense that gets after the quarterback. You're putting him in a terrible position, and then it was very clear from what I saw in the second half, as we stated in point 1, or A, or Roman numeral I, Frank just had no plan in the second half. Dude was just closing his eyes and picking a number on his chart to call in. Like, you have your backup in those circumstances, and you are giving him nothing. And I'm just going to keep telling myself Veyer was just trying to make a play when he threw all those ugly picks.
You took the words out of my mouth. I heard somebody say, man, he was out there just trying to make a play. But if you watch those plays, what was he trying to do? He overthrew a deep ball by like 15 yards, completely offline while he's being hit. Sure, he was trying to make a play, and he got hit. It was stupid, but you're losing. That's like an interception. I don't know or care what you're trying to do. That was just abysmal. So I hope he was trying to do too much, but I feel like there's some problems in the quarterback room.
Really?
Breaking. I don't think
Heard it here
we're
first.
better off without Phil under center, which is something that it pains to say. Me and Dylan kept saying sarcastically, like, man, if Phil didn't get hurt, we win that game.
Oh, we win by 30.
Yeah. Mac Brown sent his goons out there to take Phil out. He was getting worried.
Yeah, so I'm starting to think Cignetti, on top of being like a very bad play caller with a very dated system, might be whatever the opposite of a quarterback whisperer is, because Veyer started one game at Penn State, and had a better game than any Pitt quarterback has had in the last 2 years. And that was as like a redshirt freshman, a true freshman. So obviously something is not right in that quarterback room. Obviously there's something about this offense. If Phil looks that much better at Boston College, than he does here, and he didn't even look great at Boston College, there's clearly something going wrong on that offense in that quarterback room. And I think using the process of deduction, there's one person to blame.
Yeah, he's terrible.
We ready for Yarnell?
Yeah.
Start beating the drum for the sheriff. Break out
When-
the piano.
When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. Oh, you guys want 0.3 for
Oh yeah.
why this is still like a very concerning loss?
Yes.
We're a 1-3 football team.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A bowl
See-
game at this point would be like a miracle.
Going
Oh,
into
but the
game,
Ravens just lost, so that's...
Oh, I must be behind you. I'm also watching the game and watching
I'm sorry, I ruined it,
Indianapolis line up for this field goal.
Well, they hit it, so...
All right.
But yeah,
I'm going to stop you there.
1-3
We are
Pitt Panthers.
1-3, and things are bad. That your third point is we are 1-3. That game actually made me feel better. Going into that game, there were people who we were friends with that said, "I don't see another win on the schedule." And I was like, "Well, we'll win a game or two or whatever. We suck, but we'll win some games." I saw enough in the first half to be like, all right, we'll beat some bad teams. We're not that shitty. Maybe
We're pretty shitty. I do agree. I saw some signs of life on offense that
True.
it was like, oh, we're not going to watch what happened in West Virginia every week for 8 more weeks.
yeah, we had a quarterback hit triple digits.
Quite the
Maybe this is just
accomplishment
me
in
fooling myself.
2023.
I need all the help I can get, so maybe I'm just fooling myself. It's like, yeah, we're a 4-win team after watching that 21-point loss.
What a low place to be in.
It takes
And
so
I-
little to buy me in.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, because I agree, we finally showed some signs of life. But you know what doesn't make me feel better? Boston College might have a quarterback, and Syracuse is just straight up good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, that's
Just
a loss.
good. They are top 3 nationally, either top 3 or top 5 nationally in both offense and defense. That is 2 games that I had written in Sharpie as a win that I think we're just going to get boat raced in. Also, Louisville might just be good.
Now relax.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know if I can relax.
Yeah. Kenny Johnson house the kickoff.
Yeah, he's awesome. Just give him the ball every play.
Not via jet sweep. How many more jet sweeps does this city have to see?
Yeah, Pittsburgh has reached our quota on jet sweeps for the football season.
We are
And
at
Steel-
critical
and-
mass
And we're recording this
for jet
before the
sweeps.
Sunday night Steeler game.
Thank Christ. Could you imagine if the Steelers look how they look like every game and we were recording this after or during?
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that right now.
The
Good
only
fans, don't get too down. We all knew this was going to happen. Just eat the L. Try again next week. And Virginia Tech's bad. If we lose this week, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. We
That'll
will
be a-
actually be a 1-win team if we lose to Virginia Tech.
That'll be a straight up suck fest on 8 p.m. on the ACC network. Virginia Tech just lost to Marshall. Although Marshall hasn't been dog shit the last couple, but I mean,
the Marshall.
Yeah.
I was our bosses at Section 5 actually told me that we're going to lose to Marshall. All the Section 5 guys are Virginia Tech alum. And they told me they were losing to Marshall like 2 weeks before the season. They're like, yeah, they're playing at Marshall, and Marshall is treating this like the national championship, sold out, just like going all in on this game, and they're going to kick the shit out of us. So we're going to be going into Pitt limping off a loss from Marshall. And I don't know if that means that they're going to be desperate or if they're just going to start spiraling. So we can get more into that with our preview this week, which we might have a treat in store for you guys. We haven't worked out the logistics, but yeah, we might at least have a fun preview for the game, if it's going to be a terrible, awful game that nobody enjoys.
Yeah, Boo City. I think the
How many
under
boos
hit.
were there? The under hit?
We were chanting "Go Phil," "Yay Phil," the whole first quarter, and after that, we're like, okay, whatever.
Very inspired chants. Very
there was some
creative.
boos after, I guess, the punt return, maybe the refs a few times, but yeah, people weren't that bought into boo.
Did see a few Boo City shirts.
That is, fans not being bought in enough to boo is so much worse than fans not booing, or than fans booing. I would rather a stadium of people MFing Pat Narduzzi and Frank Cignetti, burning trash cans in the streets, and throwing their season tickets in them, than a near empty crowd that is too apathetic to boo. We're in a spot right now.
There were a lot of cheers early on.
Yeah.
First quarter was a lot of people optimistic. And then that plug got pulled real quick and it went from 100 to 0. And there were like 25 people left in Acrisure for Vader's last interception. And there are just those UNC fans from Cranberry waiting for 79 to clear up.
Yeah, I think that was the first time in a long time I've seen the student section pretty much empty out. I think they were, those college kids were ready to get back home to party.
It was a Saturday night. This was only part of their plan.
Completely off topic, the Dolphins just scored 70 points. Just flashed up on the screen. It's more than Pitt has the last 3 weeks.
It's more than the Steelers have this season, and I'm willing to bet it's more than they have on the season after tonight's game as well. I'm not like I don't know how the finances or recruiting coordinators works, but the Panthers and the Steelers should be trying to outbid each other for literally anyone employed by the Miami Dolphins for the offensive side of the ball. Like get the equipment kid, because at least he's probably walked in and out of those meetings with McDaniels.
We done here?
We're done here.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, fellas.
I won't.
Me either, probably. But hey, hail, loyal sons of Pittsburgh.
Are you or someone you know looking for work in a recession-proof industry? Are you someone that's interested in things like having health care, having a 401k, immediate PTO accrual, an employee assistance program, or referral payouts? Our newest sponsor, Haddad Accelerated Delivery, an Amazon delivery partner, is looking for safety-minded and dependable drivers to join their delivery service team. Be a part of a company that will encourage self-ownership and award bonuses based on exceptional safety and delivery efforts. This is the ideal gig for individuals seeking full-time work or students interested in making some pretty good money during breaks. If you or someone you know is safety-focused, hardworking, organized, efficient, and team-oriented, text HADD to 464-646 to apply. I understand that that is an impossible string of letters and numbers, so here it is again. That's HADD to 464-646. For a job that's the total package, get it? Because, like, it's deliveries. Haddad Accelerated Delivery is the place for you. Hey, Panther Nation. Have you ever crashed your spin scooter going down Cardiac Hill? Or wiped out on an icy sidewalk in South Oakland? Have you ever been hit by a bus crossing Forbes Avenue? Well, you may not have to pay that hospital bill on your own. If you're hurt in an accident, pick up the phone and call Guido at Gurrera Law. Guido Gurrera is a University of Pittsburgh Law School grad, Pitt football superfan, and experienced personal injury attorney who's licensed in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And it is 100% free to call him for consultation on your personal injury case. So the next time you get rear-ended in Oakland rush hour traffic, or if you fall down the stairs at Peters, call Guido. All joking aside, Oakland and the world can be a very dangerous place. If you need legal help, talk to Guido. He'll treat you like a fellow Pitt fan and never like a number. 412-229-7757 is the number to call. That's 412-229-7757 to call Guido. You can also contact Gurrera Law at gurreralaw.com. That's Gurrera. Call Guido today.